beautiful souls. It's Robin, and you're listening to the Live Life Balance podcast. I'm so excited that you dropped by today, prioritizing you and your wellness. This podcast is for my empty nester mamas, women who are getting close to this new chapter, who have dipped one toe in, or who are fully embracing this new phase. This is for the mamas who are ready to take back their health, to live their best lives. If you're looking for an authentic, supportive community, you're definitely in the right place. It's a space for us to learn how to prioritize ourselves again. I'll be your guide, pointing you to ideas and tools that you can experiment with to see what feels good for you. You'll also hear guests talking about their journeys and what's worked for them. Together, we're going to learn how to use the 1% shift method to create little shifts and habits that, who knows, maybe become your non-negotiables to feel your best. By feeling our best, we can show up in our purpose and live the most joyful life, even in the challenging times. And boy, this new chapter can seem challenging, but I can assure you we're not alone. Some of the topics we're going to talk about are self-love, self-care, nutrition, daily toxins, food swaps, mindset, and reframing our thoughts. I hope you leave each time feeling a little more empowered and at ease to take a step or two that will allow you to shine. Are you ready? If you said yes, take a nice deep breath and say, I am ready. Now let's get into it. Hey, I just wanted to come on real quick to let you know that in the month of October, we are going to do a short series focusing on two vital areas: breast cancer prevention and navigating the perimenopause and menopausal journey. I am super excited about this. We're always going to be looking at everything from a holistic perspective and a holistic lens. What can we do from that side of things for prevention or help? And so just a little side note, this is all educational information. Make sure you see your doctor if you're not feeling 100% or if you have medical questions. In the upcoming episodes, we're going to talk and share some expert insights. We're going to have some personal stories from people. We're, of course, going to walk away with some actionable steps to create our 1% shift on our health journey. So stay tuned, stay inspired, and let's embrace this transformative season together. But I also want to let you guys know that I'm super excited about a free guide that I've created. I've taken a lot of time to create this with you guys in mind, listening to different women speak and telling me what their needs are, which ultimately were the same needs that I had when I first entered into the empty nest phase, which I'm still dipping one toe in and about to go full into it. So I am currently living this myself. I really hope that you find value in this guide. I hope that it brings you something that you can focus on to change your health and wellness so that you can live the life that you desire. This will be linked in the show notes if you didn't see it on social media already. But in the show notes, you will find the link for the free guide. You can also look on my social media to opt in. You can also join my Facebook podcast Facebook group so that we can continue this conversation in a supportive internal community. So without further ado, let's see what's coming up for today. Thanks, guys. Today, we're going to have Dr. Mustafa on, who is an OBGYN, ultrasound consultant, and breast health coach. He's the founder of Be Breast Aware organization, which offers free online group training sessions as well as one-on-one coaching sessions for breast care, breast health, and cancer awareness. He's established a comprehensive breast health and cancer information resource, which you can go to his website, bebreastaware.org, to get that. He's had 17 years of clinical experience in his dedication towards breast health, and he offers a unique perspective on breast health and combining his medical and holistic approach together. This conversation was definitely just packed with information, things you can walk away with and try. He is in Pakistan, so there was a big time difference, but I was very excited to have him on. If there's a little bit of technical issues, it's just, I think some of our Wi-Fi was a little bit off, but it's just so incredibly packed with information that we're just going to get past that and we're going to keep going. So without further ado, let's get into this amazing discussion. Have a good day, guys. Hi, welcome back to today's episode. I'm so excited today to have Dr. Mustafa on, and I want to get right into it because this month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and he is on to talk about that with us. And I am very excited because this is something I'm passionate about. So, welcome to the show. How are you today?
Thank you. I'm fine. How about you?
I'm doing well, thank you. So if you want to just tell us a little bit about your background and kind of how you got where you are today, because it is an important topic to most women, if not
Okay.
all.
So I'm Dr. Jawad. I belong to Pakistan. I've been practicing medicine for over 17 years. I graduated in 2004, and after that, I did my mandatory internship, you can say, and better trainings in surgery, medicine, and all those modalities. Later, I started my own family practice in my own clinical setup, family setup we have. So I did my MPhil afterwards. The major was in obstetrical and gynecological ultrasound, and I've been providing diagnostic ultrasound facility to my community, local area, and all that. So in the past, you can say couple of years, there has been increasing number of cases that I experience on regular basis that come for diagnosis of breast health issues, particularly in younger females in their late teens, their 20s and 30s, mostly having issues which were not particularly related to breast cancer. There were cases also in the late 20s and 30s that I have seen and diagnosed, but mostly with concerns which were not directly linked with cancer, but other conditions like infection, inflammation, like constant pain, heaviness, nipple discharge, even without pregnancy, without lactation, late teenage years or early 20s. So there have been multiple complications, multiple issues related to breast health issues. But the thing that I find is the gap between the information provided to females, especially younger females, regarding breast health and its consequence in their later life. Because if they are not aware of how to care themselves, what kind of dietary modifications they require according to their age, according to their daily requirement, uh, normal rest routine, sleep routine, self-care, skin care, appropriate bra selection, and the kind of you can say overall health care. Because it is not just about the breast health care, it is about having a healthy body overall. Emotional health, physical health, they all contribute.
I
So
love that. I absolutely love that because I definitely believe in a holistic lens when you're looking at health. And, I think a lot of times we separate all the different parts of the body into like, you go here for this and here for that, and you only, address this if this hurts. And so I love your philosophy of it's not just one thing, it's all things. So keep going. Thank you. I appreciate that.
actually, this is the main thing. This is the gap that I want to bridge, that I want to educate and guide every female, not just the female who are in the direct risk group, which is screened group, that is above the age of 40 years. But the main goal is to educate those who are not in the screening group, that is between the 15 to 39 years of age. This age group is the least screened group, least you can discuss group of females who are not screened, who are not given direct access towards all the diagnostic facilities or the clinical examination and all that, because they are told that breast cancer risk factor increase above the age of 40 years. Nobody tells them that the risk factors that trigger these changes are in their late teens, in their 20s and 30s also. And if they are not caring for these steps, these aspects in their teens and their 20s, then later life they will experience these changes earlier, because the breast cancer cases, they are on the rise just cause they are diagnosed late. They are not properly diagnosed, they are not properly treated, because every female in the media and everywhere, they are advised, they are advertised that you start your breast cancer screening after the age of 40 years. Before that, just do your monthly self breast examination, and if you find a lump, you go to a doctor. This is
Right.
the whole thing that is advertised everywhere in every healthcare system, whether it is the developed countries or the developed ones.
Yes,
But
and you're so true. It's
no,
so true. One of the things I think that I hear you saying that also just kind of, really lights me up is it's addressing things before. It's the prevention side of things that nobody talks enough about and educates enough about. So if you are someone who, is past that age, right? In that age where they recommend that you go and you get your mammograms and you get your, things to screen, what are some of the things that you would recommend for people that have not gotten to that screening age yet? But I heard you say a couple of things, but I just wanted to go back to them because I think they're really important. It's not just the breast health, it's your sleep, it's what are you putting on your body. So could you talk to a few of those things that somebody can do on the preventative side before getting to the age bracket, so that we
okay.
can get people.
There are basically two factors that determine breast health or breast cancer. You can say two type of factors, risk factors. One type is the non-avoidable factors. The other is the avoidable factor that are linked with breast cancer development. So related to this breast cancer month awareness and all that. So the unavoidable factors are getting early menstruation before the age of 12 years. It is linked with breast cancer. Not just it is not a specific cutoff point that if a girl starts menstruating before the age of 12 years, then definitely she will get this breast cancer, but it has increased risk because the overall effect of estrogen will be more in the body for more years, and estrogen excess, estrogen dominance, and hormonal disturbances directly linked with breast cancer development. Second is having being a female is a direct link risk factor which is unavoidable. Increased risk, men do get breast cancer, but their chance of getting breast cancer is very less. So the other thing is having a late menopause. So the more years estrogen is present in the body, starting let's suppose a female starts menstruation at the age of 11 years and her menopause is at the age of 50 years. So this is almost 40 years of uninterrupted hormonal effect on the body, on the breast, on uterus, on the ovaries and all that. Secondly, if this is bundled with late pregnancy, the first child born after the age of 30 years, or late pregnancy after the age of 30 years, or if she didn't have any child yet, she didn't get pregnant, she didn't breastfeed her baby. So all these factors bundled together, they form a combination of avoidable and unavoidable risk factors that increase the risk of getting breast cancer. So in all these aspects, if we add nutritional deficiencies, we add stress, we add added stress of the career, of the education, of you could say of earning a good money and all that, with sleep deprivation, irregular sleep, depressive episodes, anxiety and all these factors combined together, they form a dangerous combination of avoidable and unavoidable risk factors that increase the risk of getting breast cancer. So as many factors combined together, if their number is increasing, their intensity and severity is increasing, then a female is likely to get breast cancer earlier in the age, in her late 20s or 30s, because she is exposed to more than one risk factor at a time. There can be an environmental hazard due to radiation. There can be added effect of carcinogens. Either she is applying on her skin in the form of skincare products, either she is using that kind of fabric or that kind of bra which has aldehydes and all those dyes that are absorbed through the skin, and they are toxins and they are carcinogens. So we have to educate that there are multiple bundled factors, not just those that are advertised everywhere, but the combination of these factors, they all combine together to increase the risk factors, adding up in the risk of getting not just breast cancer, other cancers also. So we have to educate and guide that depending on your age, depending on your health status, your hormonal balance, your daily activity and the kind of stress you have in your life, there either added stress or unavoidable stress. You have to consider all these aspects, and you have to adopt those changes which reduce your risk of avoidable risk factors. So this is the whole approach.
I love that. I think, in any disease state, whether it's breast cancer, whether it's, something else, there are always, the avoidable and the unavoidable, right? So we don't have to go mad trying to control everything, but when you can control
Yes,
those little pieces and parts earlier on, right? Earlier on in life. And two things that, obviously we all hear the song and dance of stress, lower your stress, stress will kill you, everybody has stress, but it's how you manage your stress, which is most important. And that is something that I love to work with people on, because you can't run from stress, right? But how you process the stress and what you do with it internally and externally matters, because that is what brings you back out of the, sympathetic quicker into the parasympathetic. And so those are the things that are avoidable.
definitely.
The other thing you said, which I'm a huge proponent of, is the skincare. People really need to still be educated so much more on the skin being the largest organ. And when you put, fragrance lotions and all these products on that have carcinogenic components in it, you're just kind of layering on more things for the body to have to process, which then breaks down your body eventually. And so that is something that's unavoidable or avoidable. And so, just educating on that piece,
Avoidable.
reading your labels, knowing what's in it, getting a non-toxic version really does do the body good, right? And so one of the things you also said, though, that I didn't really think of, I'm obviously very big into in the non-toxic world. So, detergents and all of that, very important, because you're sleeping on your sheets, you're wearing your clothes all day, it's touching your skin. But I never thought of the bra and the dyes on your bra, especially if you're sweating, if you're going to, work out and all of that. I never really thought about that. So thank you so much for bringing that up, because I definitely think it is something to look into, making sure that you have more of an organic, not chemical dye fabric that's sitting on your skin. So thank you very much. That's awesome to think about and know, because again, that's something that is avoidable.
There's one. Yes, there's one more aspect related to use of bra and bra selection. It is not just about wearing a bra just to provide a support or something to support the breast. It should provide proper support. It should be of the proper size, proper fit. Also, it should not impair the normal circulation and drainage of the breast ducts, the lymphatics, because with added heat, added moisture in most countries around there, and along with, so if a person, any female who is either studying or having a work from home routine or any job requirement that makes her sit 6 to 8 hours in a chair or any place where she has to work. Now make a scenario that she is sitting with her improper posture, back bending forward. Okay, now she is wearing a bra which may or may not be a proper fit for her. It may be a constricting bra, it may be a bra which is underwire, which has added you can say support or cup just to have a proper shape and all that. All these are they are used. So during this process, due to the effect of gravity, there is pouring in of the secretions of the fluid inside the breast. Okay. So that is not supported. Those secretions, they are not reabsorbed or they are not taken away against the gravity towards the armpit area where there is a normal lymphatic drainage. Okay, so due to all these factors, if a person is sitting, then the shoulder joint, these muscles of the chest and all that, they are not in the movement. Their movement is important because they allow the normal lymphatic drainage and normal circulation of the breast and the chest. So if a person is sitting without the movement of the shoulders, without the movement of the chest muscles, then this on continued on the basis of weeks, months to years, this bad habit, this bad posture, this improper circulation and drainage of the lymphatics and the breast ducts, this adds up. This increases the chances of getting inflammatory changes in the breast, in the ducts, in the glands, and with all those added factors that we already discussed, it can increase the probability of getting cellular mutation, cellular damage, inflammatory changes, and increased risk of breast cancer, just cause these all factors are piling up. They are all having 1+1 effect. So it is not just about the thing that you apply, it is how you care for your body. This normal exercise, this normal routine, it is very important. Posture plays a very important role. Appropriate support and appropriate you can say circulation, drainage of breast provided by the appropriate bra selection, it is very important. It is least discussed or least you can say bothered about, but it has a role and it should be considered by every female, whether she is a student, she is in her late teens, in her 20s, 30s or 50s, because everything that we apply on the skin, on the body, or we ingest inside the body, they all have effect. And if we are not considering all these in a whole picture, then we can ignore many things which can be harmful or dangerous. It is not that just using a bra will cause cancer, it is the effect of all those changes that it leads to. So we have to consider all these aspects.
Right. I love that. I love that because people, they get so singularly focused on, well, all I have to do is change my bra, or all I have to do is stop wearing, that particular lotion. But it is all the factors together. And that's what's most important for people to take away today, is that it's not just one thing or the other, but you just have to start one place and then build small little habits on top of them. So if changing your bra sounds like it's something that you can do, that you want to invest in, and investigate and see what would be proper for you, then that might be your first little step. If you're somebody who still, doesn't understand the toxins and chemicals, maybe that's your first step. It's not something that you're going to be able to flip and change overnight, but all of these things that we're talking of today are little things that you can add on to your normal daily routine that will add up and make a big difference kind of down the line. I think it's super interesting, the lymphatic drainage system, which I really am fascinated by. Obviously, we don't talk about it. Nobody really understands what that actually is and what it does. And when people hear that, they're like, oh, it's one more thing I have to do. Like I have to go get a lymphatic, massage. It's like, you can do things at home, 5 minutes in the morning, starting you can even look on YouTube. You can look on lots of different apps for free little 5 to 10 minute lymphatic drainage massages that you can do at home. And it's a lot of just swiping. And so if that's something you've not heard of that you feel like, you might want to investigate, I'll drop like 1 or 2 in the show notes, because there's a couple of people that I follow that I like what they do. And it's very simple. It's not something that's, very strenuous to do, and it doesn't take up a lot of time. So I think that's important for overall health in general. But also when we're going back to what he was saying about the lymphatic drain going out your armpit, like if you're just sitting and you're not having a lot of movement, it always reminds me of the deodorant conversation, right? The deodorant conversation is, if you're not moving, if you're just lathering on toxins within your deodorant, it's just sitting, inside of your lymph nodes. But I mean, it's like in the lymph system. And so then if you're not sweating, if you're not, getting rid of it, it's just stacking up. And so people who know me and people who don't know me will now know, like I always talk about deodorant. Like deodorant is something that if that's the first thing that you change for breast care, that's great. Let's change it to something non-toxic. And I get a lot of people who, it takes a little bit of time because your body actually detoxes when you get rid of the chemicals. And so you've got to be great, give your body grace while it's kind of going through the detox, but finding a non-toxic version of deodorant that works for you will help your body to detox also.
Definitely. Actually, it's all about knowing the basic, you can say, requirement of the body.
Yeah.
Most important thing is to eat healthy, provide your body with the appropriate nutrient that helps in maintaining a good immune system. Because if your immune system is good, then definitely you can fight anything that is applied on your body, whether it is ingested in the body, because we encounter lots of carcinogens in our environment which we are not aware of. We are
Correct.
breathing, inhaling all these things, but our immune system should be in a proper state that it should function to avoid all these aspects. You cannot control everything.
No.
Like on the road, we can only control the 50% aspect of not hitting a car. Because if a car hits you, it is the 50% part that you are in control of. That's the same thing, that we cannot control everything. We can learn to avoid things that are avoidable, that
Yes.
we don't need to ingest or don't need to apply on our body, or we should not apply. So it is, you can say, awareness that should start from the early school years, that these are the things that gradually, as you grow in your, let's suppose if a girl is 10 or 12 years of age, her mother should be aware that what kind of food is good for her, what kind of skincare product is suitable for her, what kind of hydration she should have. So all these aspects right from the growing age till her teens and the 20s and the 30s. Because if she is not aware right from the school years, then she will not be able to pass on these information to her friends, to her family members, to her kids later in her life. So it is a process that we should start from today, because it will benefit the next generation and all those to come and all that. So it is not just something that we just aware them or guide them right at this moment and it will benefit them right at this moment. It's not like that. It is a chain reaction that we have to start, that we have to give them information bit by bit, and it may work for some, it may not work for some, but at least it will provide them with the resource that they can improve themselves on their own without having extra burden on their financials and all that. So it is not just about spending money, it is about saving money by doing the smart things.
Yeah, 100%. And I really feel, again, I know we're focusing on, breast awareness and breast cancer, but it's really for all disease. I mean, you have to start, it's a lifestyle. I mean, that's what I preach all the time. It's not just here, if I just do this one thing, everything's going to be good, because your immune system is impacted. Now, I will say that your cells turn over quickly, your immune system can be enhanced and boosted, and you can recover, your gut health and all of that, which then boosts your immune system. And so it's not a lost cause just because you're 40 and maybe you haven't made the best lifestyle choices thus far. There is always a starting point. And so again, if you're listening and any of this resonates with you, pick one thing to start with, because one thing is better than no thing. And when you do that one thing and then it becomes just a regular habit, then you can stack another habit on top of that. But again, going back to like the food aspect, food first, food heals, food gives you the nutrients, it boosts your immune system, it does all the things. Now, again, if you're somebody coming from a traditional American diet and you're looking to make some changes, add in more vegetables. That's all you have to just start there. It's like start one place, because it affects your entire body, including your breast health. So, I think this conversation is amazing. I mean, there's so many takeaways. I mean, I've been writing notes feverishly because there's just so much that, we can talk about and educate on, but it's about taking action. And so this podcast is always about a 1% shift in non-negotiables. And so when people walk away from this episode, I want them to walk away with, one or two things that they feel like they want to apply to their life. And I definitely think we went over a ton. I love your, whole discussion on avoidable and unavoidable. And so when we walk away, we want to look for things that we can avoid in simple ways so that we can keep increasing our health and longevity. Because I mean, that's ultimately, we want to be well in our older years. We don't want to be, coming into disease like most Americans do. And not just Americans, but most people around the world at this point. So before we end, I always ask my guests for a couple of non-negotiables. So for you, what is it on a daily basis that you have created to feel your best, that for you are your non-negotiables?
Okay, there are basically three things that I want every female, whether she is in her 20s, 30s, or later in her life, there are three things that every female should learn on their own, or they can ask for help or anything. One is to eat healthy. It includes three main things that every female can do on their own without having joining any, you can say, special food programs or diet programs and all that. One is to cut down on sugars as much as possible. That is feeding the bad cells. Sugar is feeding the bad cells, simply putting it like that. Okay. Second is to add vegetables. Vegetables have alkaline in nature. They reduce the growth of any inflammation, any cancer cells and all that, or any disease process. And third is to avoid the processed food as much as possible, because any canned food, any preserved food, any soft drink or anything like that, it has more salts in them. Added salt, additional salt in the body, it sucks up water with it. That added water is not necessary, that is not required in the body. The only water required is according to your daily metabolism and daily requirement, that you drink in the form of plain water. Anything beside that, that is absorbed due to excessive amount of sodium, salt, it will cause damage. Damage not just to your health, it will definitely cause a slow process that will damage your heart, your kidneys, liver and everything like that. So one thing is regarding the diet. Second thing is to learning self-breast care. Self-breast care is important for every female, whether she is in the growing age or she has a developed body and developed breast size and all that. It requires skincare. Skincare requires normal cleaning, not with any harsh chemical soap or any harsh chemical body wash. A simple tip: if any soap or any body wash, it is drying up the skin, especially of the breast or the nipples, it is damaging, because the nipple and the breast skin is supposed to be having a protective layer, mild, gentle, oily layer secretions that prevents skin drying, skin cracking and skin infections. So if the nipples are dry, if they are flaky, if they have dryness over them, then it is a danger sign. That soap, that chemical is dangerous, it's harmful. Same goes for any bra that leaves marks, that leaves pressure, that leaves pain, or that presses on the breast and nipples, on the armpit area. It is a bad bra. You have to avoid this. And the third thing, it is about giving your body some rest, some sleep, some calmness of the mind, because the body heals when it is resting, when it is relaxed, it is calm, it is sleeping. When the body does not get its proper sleep, its proper rest, then those hormones that are related to growth, that are related to reproduction, those are related to normal cell health, estrogens, progesterones, the growth hormone, the thyroid hormone, their function will be inhibited. It will be suppressed due to excessive work of adrenaline or cortisol. If you're not sleeping properly, your cortisol levels will not be in the proper place. Your adrenaline will not be in its proper state. So you have to give your body rest, time to sleep, time to relax, and time to heal, because body will not recover, it will not heal from any infection, any inflammation, any cancer, if you are not sleeping properly, if you're not giving yourself a proper rest. So these are the main three things, three aspects every female can do on their own without spending even a single penny of extra on it. So these things everybody can do, right from the school years till her 70s, 80s, or whatever life she has. So these things every person can do, and this is the message. That
I love it. So I love that. And I love that those are three takeaways for the women. But for you, do you live by, obviously you don't wear a bra, but do you live by, I mean, are those your non-negotiables too? Obviously, I would imagine food intake is and sleep is. So that's how you feel your best also. Is that correct?
One more thing, one more added thing,
Okay.
that you can, I personally, or any person, male or female, whoever, you have to reduce those factors that give you stress.
Yes.
Any company that gives you stress, any person that gives you stress, any situation that you have deliberately adopted, you should avoid it.
Yes.
Company or person who is toxic to you, you should avoid it as much as possible. If it is
Yes.
unavoidable, then you can try to at least give yourself some kind of peace and mental relaxation, that you can rest your mind, your body. So if it is unavoidable, then you have to try to find something, some way to relax your mind. Otherwise you will not be spared from all these infections, from all these inflammation and all these triggers. So try to avoid the triggers as much as possible. That was I do. And definitely
I love that.
trying to educate and guide someone, it gives a sort of relaxation that you have done something better. So that
Yes.
is the third thing I do for
Okay. I
myself.
love that. And I think stress, again, I'm not sure any person that I've ever interviewed or talked with in a field of wellness and health, stress always comes up. But I think for so long we're under this understanding that you have to just get rid of all stress. Well, you can get rid of some stress components, right? So if you have a toxic relationship with someone, or you're not happy in your career, or there's things that you can switch up, that's definitely in your control. But sometimes life gives you stress, and it's what you do with it, how you view it, how you breathe through it. Like you said, you've got to get those tools to manage it in a way that it's not affecting your health. And I think we, again, haven't really been taught that. So I feel like everything you're saying goes back to education. It goes back to, we should be inserting some of this stuff into educational curriculum that is in schools, because, it's never too early to learn. And if you're learning about your body and you get to know your body, you'll understand how your body's operating. So I do think that that's something that we're still struggling with, is the education system, and getting some of this stuff incorporated so they're hearing it more, so they're learning, so they're understanding. But that takes the educational system understanding the prevention side and all of that. So we're going to get there, though. I know it. I mean, this is why I do what I do, because I love having these conversations. I think that they're super important. If 100 people walk away, 1,000 people walk away, and they're trying something, I mean, that's amazing to me. We're just reaching a wider network of people to begin the education process. So thank you so much for coming on. I know we have a huge time gap, and you're getting ready for your evening. So thank you again for coming on, for educating us, for what you do. I will drop all of this in your show notes, but if you are looking to kind of see what he's up to, you can go to www.bebreastaware.org. Is that correct?
Yes, bebreastaware.org.
Okay, and then you're on social media, and so I'll drop all of those into the handles, and then I'll also do the takeaways. So thanks again for coming on. I appreciate it. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you guys soon. And for those listening, I hope that you do walk away with one or two things to try on to see how they feel and fit, and keep adding on to your good habits that you're stacking. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. I hope that you enjoyed that episode as much as I enjoyed interviewing Dr. Mustafa. He was full of really good information, and some of the key takeaways about the prevention side of things is some things are avoidable and some things are unavoidable. And so we're going to talk about some of the things that are avoidable that we can do to help create some better prevention. One of the things he talked about was eating healthy, cutting down on sugars and processed foods, and of course adding in vegetables because they have a lot of nutritious value. Number 2, he talked about self breast care, which we talked a little bit about the way that your bra fits and what your bra is made of. And so those are important things to really take into consideration. And the second thing he talked about was what you are actually washing your body with. And so making sure that it's a non-toxic swap for maybe something that you have. And I would say the number one ingredient to look for would be fragrance, of course. And if there's fragrance, then you need to ditch it. Number 3, rest. He talked a lot about sleep and having time to calm your mind. He also said that the lack of sleep messes with our hormones, which inhibits cell growth. So we want to make sure, again, that we're really looking at the way that we sleep and how much sleep we get and the quality of sleep. And lastly, he talked about stress. And of course, there is no life that is stressless. So we have stress in our daily life, but we just need to learn how to manage it in a way that serves us with a better outcome. However, when we are looking at stress, we need to question it. Is it something that we need in our life? Is there a purpose? Is it serving us? And if not, if it's something that's toxic, whether it's a job or a hobby or a relationship, or just something that you notice is not serving you, that is creeping up and creating a lot of stress, we just need to have that honest conversation with ourselves. And if it's not worth it to have it in our lives, then we need to replace it with something else that is better. As far as our little 1% shift method that we talk about, I think taking any action is better than no action, especially when it comes to breast cancer and breast cancer prevention. So if you can just take one thing and swap it, take something and try it out, I definitely know that you'll be having a greater outcome of prevention. So until next time, I really hope that you guys have a great day, and we will talk to you guys soon. Bye. Thanks for tuning in today. I loved being here with you. I hope that you got something from today's episode. I'd love to hear what resonated with you. Drop a comment below, and if you feel led to, download the episode and share it with someone you love that needs to hear this message. As we continue to spread the goodness of this podcast, I'd love for you to help us by leaving a review on Apple Podcast or a rate on Spotify. As we increase listeners, we will come up more often when women are searching for podcasts to listen to. To stay connected with me, you can check out my social media pages at Live Life Balanced with Robin. You can check out my website at livelifebalancedwithrobin.com. You can book a discovery call. And if you're looking for a way to get started right now, you can opt in for my new quick guide for the empty nester refresh. You can join my wait list for my new course, It's Your Time, which is going to be launching soon, which I'm super excited about. And as always, thank you for letting me be part of your day. It truly means a lot that you're allowing me to be on your wellness journey with you. Until next time, find peace, love, and light by breathing, being present, and allowing for all possibilities to happen.